right now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Now next question says the government of India has extended the duration of Stand Up India scheme up to the year. Up to what year government has extended this Stand Up India scheme? Now we'll see the options. Options are A 2025, B 2024, C 2023, D 2022. None of this. Friends, the government of India extended this duration of this Stand Up India scheme up to option A. It is right answer. Up to 2025. So this scheme was launched by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji on 5th April of 2016 to facilitate loans to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe that to women borrowers to promote their entrepreneurship among them. So under this Stand Up India scheme, it is extended up to 2025 as I told now. So under this scheme, every borrower means who are going to take a loan, so they can get loan up minimum 10 lakh and maximum 1 crore under this scheme, especially in scheduled commercial banks. So scheduled commercial banks should have give loan amount 10 lakh to 1 crore under this Stand Up India scheme. And there are also who are going to start a new business, the people who are belong to SC, ST and tribal women borrowers also. So they can get under this scheme, they can get loan under this Stand Up India scheme. So now this scheme launched in 2016. So now our present government, Narendra Modi ji has extended up to 2025. 2016 to 2025. Now option A is right answer for this question. It is 2025. The government of India has extended the duration of this Stand Up India scheme up to the year 2025. Now it's the next question. The question says, when is the Aayakar Divas, that is Income Tax Day, observed by CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, CBDT? It's the options. Options are A 18th July, B 24th June, C 22nd July, D 24th July. In none of this. Friends, the central government, the Central Board of this Direct Taxes, CBDT, observed this 161st. So it is 161st Income Tax Day, that is Aayakar Divas, on 24th July. So option D, right answer for this question. Option D, it is 24th July is the Income Tax Day. So who has telling this, who is saying this 24th July as Income Tax Day? It is saying CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes. So they are confirming that this is 161. This is 161st Income Tax Day in 2021. That is 24th July 2021 is a 161st Income Tax Day. So option D, right answer for this question, 24th July. 24th July is the Income Tax Day, is Aayakar Divas. Now coming to next question, the question says, Reserve Bank of India has increased the limit of loan that can be sanctioned by banks to director of associates of the other banks without board approval. So the enhanced limit is, friends, RBI recently increased the limit of loan to whom that directors or associates of other banks. So without board approval, that new limit they have increased. So that board approval is not needed. So here asking, so that what is the new enhanced limit? What is enhanced limit? We'll see the options. Options are A 5 crore, B 4 crore, C 3 crore, D 2 crore. In none of this. Friends, recently Reserve Bank of India has raised the limit of loans so that can be sanctioned by a bank to any director or associates of other banks. So without their board approval, so they can sanction loan maximum 5 crore. So option A is the right answer in this question. So maximum 5 crore they can sanction a loan. So earlier this limit was only 25 lakh. So this also you remember. Earlier this limit was 25 lakh only. For example, if any bank wants to sanction a loan to other bank directors, so they can sanction loan up to maximum 25 lakh in earlier. But recently, so RBI has increased this limit 25 lakh to 5 crore. It is 5 crore. So option A, it is right answer for this question. Now moving on to next question. The question says Alphabet, the parent company of Google, of course. So it has announced to launch a new company named Dash, which will be focused on software development for robots. So Google, Alphabet, and one more company they named. So they are asking that company name. I'll repeat question once again. So Alphabet, it is a parent company of Google. So it has announced to launch a new company. For what? For which purpose they are launching this new company? For software development on robots. Now we'll see the options first. Options are A. Aerotech Corp, B. Fanuc, C. Intrinsic, D. Rockwell. In none of this. Friends, the parent company of Google named Alphabet has announced they launch a new company. So that name is Intrinsic. It is option C. It is Intrinsic. So which will be focused mainly on software development for robots. So for this Intrinsic company, new CEO name is his name is Wendy Tan White. So just you remember White. So you will get confused by reading these names. So just remember White. Actually full name is Wendy Tan White. So he is the new CEO of Intrinsic. Definitely in upcoming generation this question may ask who will be the who is the new CEO for this Intrinsic company. So like that they will ask question. So that time you remember his name is White, like that Wendy Tan White. Now it may ask headquarters also. So for headquarters of this Intrinsic company, it is also California. Like this Alphabet also California. No, so this headquarters also it is California. Now moving on to next question. Now we'll see the question says the World Bank has announced an additional funding of $billion for COVID-19 vaccines for developing countries. For which countries? For developing countries. So World Bank has announced an additional funding. So already funding is going on, and now World Bank has announced additional funding. So we'll see options first. Options are A 8 billion, B 12 billion, C 5 billion, D 3 billion, E none of these. Friends, the World Bank has announced an additional funding of US dollars of 8 billion. So 8 billion US dollars. So right answer is option A. It is 8 billion US dollars for this COVID-19 vaccine. So for developing countries. So with this funding, with this total financing available for this COVID-19 vaccines, it is reaching up to 20 billion US dollar. So overall, so initially 12 billion US dollars was announced to this World Bank. So after that, for developing countries, additional 8 billion US dollars also announced. So this World Bank is financing to developing countries. So overall it is 20 billion. So in this question point of view, so additional funding is 8 billion US dollars. So that you need to remember. Now moving on to next question. The question says, what is the rank of India in Global Startup Ecosystem Index 2021 by Startup Blink? What is the rank of India in Global Startup Ecosystem? Now we'll see the options. Options are A 11th, B 20th, C 21st, D 22nd. In another this. Friends, our India has moved up to 3 spots to be ranked at 20th spot. So it is option B. So the India has moved up the 3 spots to rank at 20th spot among the top 100 countries. So in this global startup ecosystem index 2021. So by Startup Blink. So Startup Blink is it's conducting. So it was at 23rd spot in 2020. So in 2020 it was 23rd. So now, as I told now, India moved to 3 spots. So now it is 20th rank. So the right answer is option B. It is 20th. So option B it is the right answer. So our India's present rank in global startup ecosystem index by 2021 is it is 20th rank. Now the next question says the Shopsy app, the SHOPSA, the Shopsy, it is an app.
So the Shopsy app has been launched by which company to help Indians to start their online business without any investment? Friends, seems this question is very good. So the Shopsy app has been launched by which company to help Indians to start their online business without any investment? Now we see the options. Options are A. Flipkart, B. PhonePe, C. Amazon, D. Snapdeal. In none of this. Friends, the right answer is for this question is it is Flipkart. So we'll see. So Flipkart has launched this Shopsy app, so that they'll enable Indians to start their online business without any investment. So this Flipkart aim is to enable over 25 million online entrepreneurs. So by their target is 2023. So their target is with the help of this Shopsy app. So their aim is to enable all over India and 25 million online entrepreneurs by 2023. So it is their target. So the right answer is for this Flipkart. So option A it is right answer. So Flipkart has launched this Shopsy app for developing to help Indians to start their online business without any further investment. Now we'll see the next question. The question says, which organization launched the Salam Dil Se initiative to pay tribute and gratitude to doctors? So which organization has launched this Salam Dil Se initiative? Now it's the options. Options are A. HDFC Bank, B. ICICI, C. Axis, D. Kotak Mahindra. In analysis. Friends, this Salam Dil Se initiative it is shows a gratitude to doctors for their tireless service. So during this pandemic situation now, so it pays a tribute to doctors of India. So we'll see that answer. Right answer. So right answer is option A. It is HDFC Bank. So HDFC Bank it has launched a web platform. So that is called this Salam Dil Se initiative. So through this web platform, so the general public, can log on to this website and share thank you messages to doctors, which can be immediately shared via email, social media, and WhatsApp. So they feel so we can tribute and gratitude to say our what our messages. So our messages, we have our thank you messages to send through this website. So that website name is it is salamdilse.com. So www.salamdilse.com. So this initiative has launched by our private sector lender. It is HDFC Bank. And friends, you can also one more question here. It is there that is ICICI Bank. So ICICI Bank also launched same this type of initiative. So that is called Salute Doctors. So ICICI given Salute Doctors, HDFC Bank given Salam Dil Se initiative. So you need to remember. So now when it comes to starting part of the HDFC Bank, so already you know it is headquarters it is Mumbai and present MD and CEO of HDFC Bank Shashidhar Jagdishan. So Shashidhar Jagdishan is the present MD and CEO of this HDFC Bank. Now we'll see next question.
Now the question says the Reserve Bank of India has approved to the government of Union Territory of Ladakh to acquire dash percentage stake in Jammu and Kashmir Bank Limited. RBI has approved to the government of Union Territory, that is Ladakh, to acquire dash percent of stake in Jammu and Kashmir Bank Limited. Now we'll see the options first. The options are A 8.32%, B 8.05%, C 8.23%, D 8.5%. In and of this. Friends, recently Reserve Bank of India has approved to government of UT of Ladakh to acquire an 8.23. It is option C here, right answer. 8.23% stake in Jammu and Kashmir Bank Limited. So as a date of enforcement of this Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019. So this act also, here also you have to remember, that is Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act. The act was made in 2019. 31st October 2019 this act came into force. So as per this act, the Reserve Bank of India has approved to government of UT of this Ladakh to acquire 8.23% stake in Jammu and Kashmir Bank Limited. So this 8.23% stake in this bank has acquired by our government of UT. It is Ladakh. Now moving on to next question. The question says SWAS Wellness. It is a wholly owned subsidiary of Dr. Reddy's Laboratories. It has partnered with which general insurance company to offer cashless outpatient services? What? To offer cashless outpatient services. Now we'll see the options first. Options are A. Kotak Mahindra General Insurance Company Limited, B. ACO General Insurance Limited, C. ICICI Lombard General Insurance Company, D. HDFC Airco General Insurance Co. Limited. In none of this. Friends, here the right answer is option C. It is ICICI Lombard General Insurance Company. Right, this was it is a already I told it is subsidiary of Dr. Reddy's Laboratories. No, so it has partnered with this ICICI Lombard General Insurance Company to offer cashless outpatient services. So due to this partnership, this general insurance company, the ICICI, will be able to perform and demonstrates their contribution to this wellness sector. So they have entered, these two have entered into partnership to offer cashless outpatient services. No, I told to health insurance policyholders in India. So that to health insurance policyholders in India. So option C, finally it is ICICI Lombard is the right answer for this question. So Dr. Reddy's subsidiary company, that is the SWAS, and this ICICI Lombard.
Now the question says, which organization has launched a strategic equity investment in InstaMojo recently? So which organization has announced a strategic equity investment? So which organization has going to invest in this InstaMojo company? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. DCB Bank, B. ICICI Bank, C. Mastercard, D. Kotak Mahindra. In none of this. Friends, this InstaMojo, it is a platform that offers small and micro merchants a ready-made virtual platform upon which they can quickly set up an e-commerce business and they can accept digital payments like fast and easy onboarding process. So now right answer is it is option C. It is Mastercard. So Mastercard is announced their strategic equity investment in this digital platform, that is InstaMojo. So it is India's largest full stack digital solution provider for all MSME companies. So this investment, it is aimed at empowering millions of MSMEs and gig workers by providing easy to use solutions that will help them to rapidly digitize, such as setting up online stores and equip with the digital payments, acceptance capabilities, and reach out to customers. So this Mastercard is going to strategic equity investment in this InstaMojo company. So the right answer is option C. It is Mastercard. So as I told you, so InstaMojo, it is a online platform. So it is that providing small and micro merchants a ready-made virtual platform. So they can set up an e-commerce business and they can accept payments. So like this services providing this by this InstaMojo company. So now Mastercard is going to equity investment in this InstaMojo company. So option C is the right answer. Now we'll see the next question. So which bank has launched a comprehensive banking solutions for medical doctors named Salute Doctor? So recently in fourth question explained, so HDFC Bank is launched a tribute to doctors, no? In same way ICICI Bank also. So answer already I revealed. So option A, it is DCB Bank, option B ICICI Bank, option C Mastercard, option D SBA, option E in none of this. So friends, right answer is option B. It is ICICI Bank. So our private sector lender ICICI Bank has launched a comprehensive banking solutions for these medical doctors called Salute Doctors. Now moving on to next question. The question says, which bank has become the second most valued listed public sector bank with a market capitalization of over 50,000 crores? So which public sector bank has reached this second most valued position? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Indian Overseas Bank, B. Bank of Baroda, C. Canara Bank, D. State Bank of India in others. Friends, all these banks are public sector banks. Now we'll see right answer. So friends, the right answer is option A. It is Indian Overseas Bank. So Indian Overseas Bank, it became the second most valued listed public sector bank with a market capitalization of 50,000 crores. So it has surpassed PNB and BOB. So BOB, PNB it surpassed. So IOB stood with a market capitalization of 51,887 crores exactly. So exactly it is 51,887 crores their market capitalization. So they are saying it is second most valued public sector bank in market capitalization only. So not in other ways, it is the market capitalization. So option A, it is Indian Overseas Bank. So when it comes to starting part, the headquarters of Indian Overseas Bank, it is Chennai. Now moving on to next question. The question says the scheduled commercial banks gross NPA will increase to -% in March 2022 from 7.48% in March 2021. So as per RBI's 23rd biannual financial stability report. Friends, usually biannually RBI is going to release this financial stability report. So in this report, so RBI is saying the scheduled commercial bank gross NPA will increase to what percent. So earlier in 2021 March it is 7.48%. So now they are saying gross NPA will increase to up to -%. Now we'll see the right answer. Sorry, first we'll see the options. So let me see. So A 7.48, it is not, and B 7.18, C 6.57, D 7% in none of this. Friends, as per RBI's the 23rd issue of this its biannual financial report FSR of 2021. So the scheduled commercial banks NPA will increase to 9.8%. So 9.8% in March 2022 from 7.48% in March 2021. So friends, option A it is right answer. So option A it is 9.8%. So the scheduled commercial banks, so their gross NPA will increase to 9.8%. So earlier it is in 2021 March it is 7.48. Now it reached to 9.8%. It will reach to. So their commercial banks gross NPAs. Now when it comes to static part of this RBI Reserve Bank of India, President Governor Shaktikant Das, he is 25th Governor, and the headquarters of RBI it is Mumbai. Now the next question says, to which entity has the government asked to launch a platform for electronic vaccine vouchers? So to which entity has the government asked to launch a platform for electronic vaccine vouchers? These options are A. Reserve Bank of India, B. Ministry of Finance, C. NPCA, National Payments Corporation of India, D. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. In analysis. Friends, the right answer is option C. It is NPCA, National Payments Corporation of India. Friends, these vouchers, these electronic vaccine vouchers will be similar to electronic prepaid instruments, and it will be used only for vaccination. So the employers will be allowed to purchase these vaccines in bulk quantities. And also in this regard, this NPCI is in the process of this shortlisting banks to issue such vouchers. So further, banks will offer these vouchers as payment services in partnership with technology service providers. So simply it is like these vouchers will be sent to employees' smartphones on feature phone, or after which employee will share the vouchers at the hospital for cashless vaccination. So for cashless vaccination purpose, this employer has to provide this payment platform, so that they can play. So this bank, so the banks will offer these vouchers as payment services in partnership with technology service providers. So friends, the right answer is it is option C. It is NPCA. So NPCA has the government asked to launch a platform for electronic vaccination vouchers. So when it comes to static part of this question, the NPCA headquarters it is Mumbai, and we made a video on NPCA also. So that NPCA video I have given in the top cards, so you can click and watch that NPCA full video. When it comes to MD and CEO of this NPCI, Dilip Apse, and founded it was in 2008. And NPCI was established by Reserve Bank of India and also with the Indian Banks Association. Now we'll see the next question. The question says, how much amount of penalty was imposed by RBI on PNB? Sorry, not PNB, it is Punjab and Sindh Bank. So PSB, Punjab and Sindh Bank, for not allowing directions under cyber security framework in banks. So how much amount penalty? So being imposed by RBI on PSB, Punjab and Sindh Bank, but they are not following directions under cyber security framework policies in banks. Now we'll see the options. Options are A 20 lakh, B 25 lakh, C 30 lakh, D 35 lakh in and of this. Friends, the penalty of rupees, it is 25 lakh. So option B, it is right answer. Right answer. So RBI has imposed 25 lakh penalty on the Punjab and Sindh Bank. So this penalty imposed for not allowing directions under this cyber security framework in banks. So this penalty imposed under the powers mentioned by the Reserve Bank of India. So they are having such provisions. So under that provisions, so they can impose this type of penalties. So that provisions also you can remember in RBI and NABARD and Grade B exams. That section 47A. So under section 47A and 46, section 51. So under Bank Regulation Act 1949. So you need to remember all sections in Bank Regulation Act 1949. So under this 47A, 46 and 51. So under these sections, Reserve Bank of India can impose penalties on banks. Now when it comes to starting part of this Punjab and Sindh Bank, so the headquarters of this Punjab and Sindh Bank is New Delhi, and MD and CEO of Punjab and Sindh Bank is S. Krishnan. S. Krishnan. So right answer is option B. As I told, it is 25 lakh. So RBI imposed a penalty 25 lakh on this Punjab and Sindh Bank. Then also you can remember the tagline of this Punjab and Sindh Bank. It is where service is a way of life. Where service is a way of life. It is the tagline. Now next question. Name the new service has launched by SWIFT, Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. That abbreviation, it is SWIFT. So it is a global provider of the secure financial messaging services. So this SWIFT, that new service launched, so that enables small business and consumers. So what is that new service? So the question is simply, SWIFT has launched new service. So that service for what purpose? That enables small businesses and consumers. So this service is useful for small business and consumers. So they are asking that service name. These options. Options are A Go Swift, B Swift Go, C Quick Swift Go, D Easy Swift. In none of this. Friends, this SWIFT, Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. So this SWIFT, so it is, as I told, it is a global provider of the secure financial messaging services. So it has launched this SWIFT Go. SWIFT Go, option B, it right answer. SWIFT Go, it is a transformative new service and also it enables small businesses and consumers to send fast, predictable, high secure and competitively priced low value cross-border payments anywhere in the world, that to direct from their bank accounts. So around 7 global banks, so which collectively handle these 33 million low value cross-border payments per year. So it has already live with services. So this SWIFT-Go, it is enables financial institutions so to offer a seamless payments experience for low value transactions often initiated by small and medium sized enterprise, that is SMEs. So to pay suppliers overseas and by consumers sending money to friends as well as family internationally. So that simply I can say this SWIFT-Go for what purpose? This SWIFT-Go, it is a new service, so it is enables for small businesses and consumers to send fast and predictable, high secure and competitively priced low value cross-border payments that to anywhere in the world. So they can transfer anywhere in the world with this SWIFT-Go. So you need to remember SWIFT-Go. So it is a new service launched by SWIFT for enabling small business and consumers that to very competitive low price and high secure also.
they can send money and cross-border transactions with anywhere in India. Anywhere is not anywhere in India, it is anywhere in the world. And when it comes to Swift Chief Product Officer his name is Stephen Gilrail. You need to remember Stephen Gilrail. He is a new, sorry, not new. He is the CPO, that is Chief Product Officer of Swift. Remember, and abbreviation of the Swift, it is must and should, Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. Now moving on to next question. The question says, under the co-lending agreement was signed between with which bank and Indiabulls Housing Finance Limited, Indiabulls HFL, to offer home loans to home buyers at a competitive interest rate. So simply Indiabulls HFL, Indiabulls Finance Company Limited, has signed an agreement with which bank to offer home loans to home buyers at a competitive interest rates. Now we'll see the options first. Options are A. Axis Bank, B. Bank of Baroda, C. ICICI Bank, D. Yes Bank. In none of this. Friends, this co-lending agreement, this agreement was signed between Yes Bank and Indiabulls. So option D, right answer. Yes Bank and Indiabulls Housing Finance Limited to offer home loans that to home buyers at competitive rates. So both these entities will jointly work to offer a seamless experience to retail home loan customers for their banks. So here they have to, so they decided to give very competitive price housing loan. So who are eagerly buying for home loans, no? So can buying purchase for houses, so they can contact with this S Bank and Indiabulls Limited. So they both made an agreement, it is co-lending agreement, so that to offer very competitive prices home loan interest rates. In comes to starting part of this question, the Indiabulls S Banks both headquarters it is Mumbai only, and tagline of S Bank it is experience or expertise. And when it comes to heads of these companies, that is S Bank MD and CEO, his name is Prashant Kumar, and as well as Indiabulls MD, his name is Gagan Banga. Gagan Banga is Indiabulls MD, and Yes Bank MD name is Prashant Kumar. These two you remember. Now moving on to next question.
Now moving on to question, the question says the Reserve Bank of India RBI has approved the reappointment of Shyam Srinivasan as MD and CEO of which bank? So recently RBI has approved reappointment of Shyam Srinivasan. So he is MD and CEO of which bank? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. HDFC Bank, B. ICICI Bank, C. Federal Bank, D. Kotak Mahindra Bank. In none of this. Friends, recently Reserve Bank of India has approved the reappointment of Shyam Srinivasan as MD and CEO of Federal Bank. So option C, it is right answer. Federal Bank. So Federal Bank, he has become a MD and CEO of this bank, and for a period of 3 years. So RBI has permitted him to made had MD and CEO for 3 years. So with effect from 23rd September 2021 till September 22nd 2024. So till 2024 September 22nd he will be the MD and CEO of Federal Bank. Now moving on to next question. The question says which bank has launched the Ghar Ghar Ration program, an employee-led initiative for its low-income customers affected by COVID-19. So recently, which bank has launched this Ghar Ghar Ration program? It is an employee-led initiative for its low-income customers, especially who are affected by COVID-19. Now we'll see the options. Options are A. IDFC First Bank, B. ICICI Bank, C. Federal Bank, D. Kotak Mahindra Bank. In none of this. Friend, this is most important question for upcoming examinations, so you have to remember this exact answer. So this program has launched by IDFC First Bank. Our private sector bank, IDFC First Bank, has launched a unique employee fund program. That called name that employees that unique fund program name is Ghar Ghar Ration. So it is for whom? For low income customers who are affected by this COVID-19. The Ghar Ghar Ration program launched by IDFC First Bank. Now next question says Bajaj Allianz General Insurance entered into a partnership with which bank to sell its insurance products via the bank's network? So Bajaj Allianz General Insurance, it is a general insurance company. It has entered into a partnership with which bank to sell its insurance products via banks network. So banks has to sell their product. Now which is the options, which bank this has taken? Option A, HDFC Bank, B, ICICI Bank, C, Mastercard, D, Bank of India, none of this. Friends, the right answer is option D. It is our public sector bank. It is the Bank of India. The Bajaj Allianz General Insurance, it is has entered into a partnership with Bank of India, which allow Bajaj Allianz General Insurance products to be presented through Bank of India channel. So now Bank of India has to, through Bank of India channel, they have to refer this Bajaj Allianz General Insurance to Bank of India customers. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of this Bajaj Allianz, it is Pune, and when it comes to Bank of India, it is Mumbai. And when it comes to Bank of India MD and CEO, Atanu Kumar Das, present MD and CEO of Bank of India. And when it comes to Bajaj Allianz, it is Tapan Singhal. Tapan Singhal, he is MD and CEO. So you have to remember these statics. Company background, company's MD and CEOs and headquarters, it is common things you need to know. Now moving on next question. The question says, name the new cabinet minister of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Name the new cabinet minister of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Friends, the right answer is option B, Anupriya Singh Patel. Anupriya Singh Patel is the new cabinet minister for Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Now the next question says, NIIT, Institute of Finance, Banking and Insurance. NIIT IFBI, National Institute of Information Technology and Institute of Finance, Banking and Insurance. It is a subsidiary of NIIT Limited. And which private sector bank in India have launched a FinTech professional program, Digital Bank Academy? So with this, which bank have launched a FinTech professional program? So that program name is Digital Bank Academy. Now which is the options? Options are A, HDFC, B, ICICI, C, Axis, D, Kotak Mahindra Bank. Friends, National Institute of Information Technology and Institute of Finance, Banking and Insurance, NIIT IFBI. So it is a subsidiary of NIIT Limited, of course, and with Axis Bank. Option C is the right answer. So with Axis Bank, it is the third largest private bank in India, Axis Bank, and they both have launched a FinTech professional program under this Axis Bank, NIIT Digital Banking Academy. So under this Axis Bank and NIIT Digital Academy, they have launched a professional program, that is a FinTech program. So that FinTech professional program. So the course is designed to build future-ready FinTech professionals for Axis Bank. So for Axis Bank, they are going to create one professionals, so that they are good professional with FinTech companies. So that is FinTech knowledge. So they should have knowledge on FinTech professionals. So the FinTech professional program, it is a first program being launched under this academy, and it offers a 3 years graduation course. So it is an opportunity to join Axis Bank as a Deputy Manager IT. So who are completed a FinTech professional this graduation, so that those will get a job in Axis Bank as a Deputy Manager IT. So it's a very good program for students who are appearing in banking exams. So they can choose this graduation program. So here right answer is option C, it is Axis Bank. So now when it comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of Axis Bank, it is Mumbai, of course, and the headquarters of this NIIT and IFBI, so in the Institute of Finance, Bank and Insurance. So it is also it is headquarters, it is Gurgaon, Haryana. So it is Haryana. So the option is, it is Axis Bank. Option C, it is right answer for this question. Now moving on next question. The question says, the Reserve Bank of India has asked banks and financial institutions to use widely accepted AAR instead of London Interbank Offer Rates. LIBOR, we call it as LIBOR, no? So expand AAR. So the question is expand AAR. So recently RBI asked the banks and financial institutions to use widely accepted
AAR. So they are asking AAR abbreviation. Now it is the options. Options are A, alternative return rates, alternative reference rates, alternative repo rates, alternative reverse rates. In any of this. Friends, first you need to understand what is LIBOR. So LIBOR means it is London, the abbreviation is London Interbank Offer Rate. So it is an interest rate. So it is an interest rate average that is calculated on the basis of estimated submitted by leading banks in London. So based on this London LIBOR rate, so this exchange currencies will happen. So in that context, first we need to remember what is LIBOR. So LIBOR, it is a interest rate. It is average interest rate that is submitted by leading banks in London. So in London. So now for India, it is India is also one. Leading banks offer rate is there, so that will call it as MIFOR, Mumbai Interbank Forward Outright Rate. That will call it as MIFOR. In London, it is there saying LIBOR. In India, it is MIFOR, Mumbai Interbank Forward Outright Rate. So now first we will see the what is why this RBI has asked. So the Reserve Bank of India has asked financial institutions to use this widely accepted this AAR. So instead of this LIBOR, instead of this London. So RBI has also asked banks to cease using this MIFOR. So RBI saying our Mumbai is also MIFOR. I told Mumbai Interbank Forward Rate. So they are RBI saying it is to cease. So the decision of this RBI came after the announcement made by the Financial Conduct Authority (FCA). So it is the UK in March 2021, and all LIBOR settings would either cease to be provided by any administrator or would no longer be representative. So now in this context, what is AAR means? It is alternative reference rate. So option B, it is right answer, alternative reference rate. So usually this also like LIBOR, it is also some interest rate. So it will be estimated by the submitted by the leading banks in the country, respect to country. So the option is option B, it right answer, alternative reference rate. So finally RBI has asked the banks and financial institutions to use widely accepted alternative reference rate instead of what? Instead of LIBOR, London Interbank Offer Rate. Most important question for all upcoming banking related exams. Now the question says Reserve Bank of India has cancelled license of which urban cooperative bank limited recently. So recently RBI has cancelled license of which urban cooperative bank. Now we'll see the options. Options are A, Abhyudaya Cooperative Bank, B, Besant Catholic Cooperative Bank, C, Dr. Shivaji Rao Patil Neelangekar Cooperative Bank, D, Citizen Credit Cooperative Bank Limited. In none of this. Friends, the right answer is option C. It is Dr. Shivaji Rao Patil Neelangekar Cooperative Bank. Friends, recently Reserve Bank of India has cancelled license of this urban cooperative bank, that is Neelanga Urban Cooperative Bank. So the bank won't able to conduct their bank business as per the rules of this as per bank regulation at 1949 under section 5B and section 56. So as per these sections, section 5B and section 56 of this BR Act 1949, as per this act, as per these sections, so now this cooperative bank cannot continue their business. What is the main business? Lending and this one, mainly lending business. This bank, no, it is lending business. So accepting deposits and lending money, no. So that is it. So the reason for this cancellation of this license is the bank didn't have the required capital, and also it is earning prospects and failed to fulfill their norms under certain sections, that is 22(3), 22(a), 22(c), like that many sections are there. So these are sections that comes under Banking Regulation Act 1949, BR Act 1949. So under this section, RBI cancel license of this urban cooperative bank. That name is Dr. Shivaji Rao Patil Neelangekar Cooperative Bank. Now moving on to next question. The question says The business accounting software called BC, BUSC, has collaborated with which bank to offer banking solutions? The business accounting software, the software name they are calling as BC. So it has collaborated with which bank to offer banking solutions? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Axis, B. Bank of Baroda, C. ICICI Bank, D. State Bank of India, in another this. Friends, the right answer is option C. It is ICICI Bank. Yes, ICICI Bank has collaborated with this software accounting software company, that is BC. So it is providing bank solutions. So due to this partnership, the users of this BC will be able to reconcile their banking statements in an automatic manner. So they'll perform tasks like accounting and fintech bank details, making transactions through software. This software. So ICICI Bank current account holders so will be able to securely connect their banking accounts to this software, that is BC, BUSA software. Suppose especially ICICI as providing this software for current account customers, so they can connect easily through this tech software. So with using this BC, so they can their queries, they can respond their needs for opening of their current accounts and transaction, everything they can connect easily through this software. So that is a BC. That's the software name. It is calling as BC. So here the right answer is option C. It's ICICI Bank. So finally, this the business accounting software called BC has collaborated with ICICI Bank to offer banking solutions. Now, when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of ICICI Bank, of course, it's in Mumbai, and this BC accounting software, this company also, this company headquarters, it is in New Delhi, and the MD and CEO of this BC accounting software, Dinesh Kumar Gupta, he is the MD of this software company, BC. And when it comes to ICICI Bank present MD and CEO, Sandeep Bakshi. So that's all about this question. Now next question says, the Reserve Bank of India has cancelled license of which urban cooperative bank limited? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Mapusa Urban Cooperative Bank of Goa Limited, B. The Goa State Cooperative Bank Limited, C. The SVC Urban Cooperative Bank, D. Madgaon Urban Cooperative Bank Limited, in another this. Friends, recently RBI has cancelled license of this Goa-based urban cooperative bank. So that cooperative bank name is, it is Madgaon Urban Cooperative Bank Limited. Recently RBI cancelled license of this Madgaon Cooperative Bank Limited. So its headquarters, it is Madgaon, Goa. So the license was cancelled because that bank's financial position was not able to pay its present depositor. So this was the main reason behind this cancellation of this license. So this Madgaon Urban Cooperative Bank Limited does not have adequate capital also, and that also, and earning prospects also not really good. So that's why RBI has decided to cancel this license of this cooperative bank. So you remember that cooperative bank name, Goa-based cooperative bank name is, it is Madgaon Urban Cooperative Bank. So this is came into news recently. So you need to remember. Now when it comes to starting point, of course RBI Governor Shaktikant Das. And moving on next question, the question says who had permitted infrastructure finance company at IDFC to exit IDFC First Bank? So who had permitted infrastructure finance company IDFC? So IDFC, it is infrastructure finance company. So this now it is exiting from IDFC First Bank. So who has given permission? Now it's an options. Options are A. Government of India, B. RBI, C. Finance Secretary, D. NHB, in another this. Friends, of course it is RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Friends, the Reserve Bank of India had permitted his infrastructure finance company, that is IDFC, to exit this IDFC First Bank. So RBI had earlier said that this after the expiry of lock-in period for 5 years, this IDFC can exit as the promoter of this IDFC First Bank. So in this IDFC First Bank, IDFC, it is infrastructure company. So it is a promoter of this in this IDFC First Bank. No? So this IDFC had received a license to set up a full service bank in 2013. So and that infrastructure lending business was carved into IDFC Bank. So now, which began operations in 2015. So now IDFC hold a stake in the bank that through a fully owned non-operative finance holdings now. So this now the whole stake in IDFC Bank, it is in 36.6%. So a reverse merge would entail this an exit from this holding company. So now IDFC First Bank has now become the retailer lender. Now this IDFC was exited from this IDFC First Bank now. So now IDFC First Bank has now become a retailer lender, and it's moved away from the infrastructure heavy book. So they moved from this infrastructure loans. So that now this bank in 2018 merged with this IDFC and this Capital First now. So now the RBI has permitted this IDFC to exit this IDFC First Bank. That you need to remember in exam point of view. So they won't ask deep in this question about promoters and percentage, and they won't ask. But you remember that the whole stake in this IDFC First Bank, it is 36.6%. So this is stake had this IDFC. Now this IDFC is exiting from this IDFC First Bank. Now moving forward in this section, the next question says Reserve Bank of India has barred which of these global card players from onboarding new domestic customers on its network from July 22nd of 2021. Now which is options? Options are A. Citibank, B. Visa, C. Mastercard, D. America Express. In none of this. Friends, Reserve Bank of India has recently barred global card player of Mastercard. So option C, it is Mastercard, that is Asia Pacific Private Limited. So from onboarding this new domestic customers on its network with effect from 22nd July over non-compliance with local data storage regulations. So this card player, this Mastercard in Asia and Pacific Private Limited. So this onboarding new domestic customers so on its network with effect from this July 22. So why they are barred this Mastercard company customers? So for this, the reason is they are not compliant with the local data storage regulations. So Reserve Bank of India has barred global card player Mastercard, that is Asia Pacific Private Limited, from onboarding new domestic customers so on its network with effect from 22nd July over this non-compliance of with this local data storage solutions. The option is, the right answer is option C, it is Mastercard. So RBI has barred Mastercard global card player from onboarding new domestic customers on its network. Now next question says the International Finance Corporation IFC has invested how much million in MedGenome, 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 to boost up access to testing of COVID-19. The International Finance Corporation has invested how much million in this MedGenome company. So it is a company to boost access to testing of this COVID-19. Now which is the options? Options are A. 26.5 million US dollars, B. 16.5, C. 10.5, D. 15.5. N of this. Friends, the International Finance Corporation, this IFC, has invested 16.5. It is option B, the right answer for this question. It is 16.5 millions in this MedGenome. It is a company, it is US based company. So this IFC has going to invest this 16 million US dollars in this MedGenome company. Why? For what purpose? For to boost up access to testing of this COVID-19. So it will also support COVID-19 related research activities also. So that is why this much 16.5 million US dollars investing this International Finance Corporation IFC in this US based MedGenome company. That you have to remember. This IFC, its headquarters, it is United States, and this MedGenome also it is United States. So both headquarters it is United States of America, USA. The right answer is option B, 16.5 million US dollars. Now the next question says the Reserve Bank of India Retail Direct Scheme has been launched by the Central Bank means Reserve Bank of India for investment in which debt instruments? The RBL Retail Direct Scheme. That scheme name is RBI Retail Direct. So this scheme launched by RBI, of course, for investment in which type of debt instruments? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Promissory notes, B. Commercial papers, C. CD certificate of deposits, D. G6 government securities. In none of this. Friends, recently RBI has launched this retail direct scheme for whom? For retail customers, means retail investors. So the retail investors who wants to buy or sell government securities. So option D, it is right answer. So this government securities comes under retail scheme. So it is also a debt instrument. So now any citizen of India, so that retail investor, that we will call it as in financial terms, we can call them as retail investors. So these retail investors can buy or sell these government securities, so both in primary as well as the secondary market. So for that, for buying these government securities, that scheme name RBI has released, that scheme name is RBI Retail Direct Scheme. So under this scheme, the retail investors can buy or sell these government securities in both markets, primary market and secondary market. So that is a basic idea about this question. The right answer is option D, it is government securities. Now moving on next question. The question says Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has launched BHIM UPI service in which neighboring country recently? Options are A. Sri Lanka, B. Maldives, C. Nepal, D. Bhutan. So option D is the right answer for this question. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has launched this BHIM UPI service with Bhutan country. So Bhutan country counterpart, Finance Minister of Bhutan name is Leonpo Namge. Leonpo Namge. So he is FM of this Bhutan. So both have launched this BHIM UPI service in Bhutan. So that from on July 13th, so the 13th and on June 13th, this BHIM UPI jointly launched this scheme. When it comes to data point, this capital of Bhutan, it is Thimphu, and currency of Bhutan, of course, Bhutani Nagultran. Bhutani Nagultran. Now next question says, which bank has selected Paisalo Digital as its national corporate business correspondent? Which bank has selected this Paisalo Digital? It is also a fintech company as its national corporate business correspondent. We'll see the options. Options are A. Axis Bank, B. Bank of Baroda, C. ICICI Bank, D. State Bank of India. In none of this. Friends, the right answer is option D. It is State Bank of India. Friends, the State Bank of India has selected Paisalo Digital NBFC as its national corporate business correspondent. So this State Bank of India has selected this Paisalo Digital as its national corporate business correspondent to boost its financial inclusion drive with the help of this kiosk-based banking services. So this Paisalo Digital, they are providing this kiosk-based bank services now. So under this, SBI has selected this Paisalo Digital as its national corporate business correspondent. Now we see the next question. The question says, the Multi-Link and which payments bank partner to offer banking facilities in rural and semi-urban areas of India? So Multi-Link company, it is a fintech company. Multi-Link, it is partnered with which payment bank? So to offer this banking facilities in rural and semi-urban area. Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Paytm Payment Bank, B. NSDL Payment Bank, C. Fino Payment Bank, D. Geo Payment Bank. In none of this. Friends, recently we are seeing in news that is NSDL Payment Bank has partnered with this Multi-Link fintech company. So they are offering technology to these payment banks. So they are offering this bank facilities in rural and semi-urban areas. This NSDL Payment Bank, it is commenced in the year 2018 now. So it is this NSDL is made as payment bank also. They are giving this simple banking services to every Indian. So NSDL, if you want to know about NSDL Payment Bank, it is a step ahead by your very own NSDL. So So NSDL, it is the first and largest depository in India. You are very well. So this has simplifying this your financial and investment journey for the more than 2 decades. So after the in 2008, this NSDL came into came into payment banks service. So they are providing simplified bank services to every Indian. So this NSDL payment bank partnered with this Multilink to offer bank facilities in rural and semi-urban areas of India.
Now the next question says, which private sector bank signed MOU with the Indian Army to offer a defense service salary package to Indian Army under its Power Salute initiative? So which bank has launched this Power Salute initiative for Indian Army people for providing the defense salary package? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Axis Bank, B. BOB, Bank of Baroda, C. Canara Bank, D. State Bank of India. In none of this. Friends, our India's one of the largest private sector bank, of course, it is Axis Bank, has signed an MOU with our Indian Army officials. So that is for providing a defense salary package. So for a particular account, salary package account to defense professionals. So in this, it offers the personal accidental cover up to 56 lakhs to all the army personnel. So it grants an education grant additional up to 8 lakh also. So the total permanent disability cover benefit up to 46 lakhs and the permanent partial disability cover up to 46 lakhs is offered under this MOU. So this is the main advantage of this MOU. So they will provide everything, checkbook facilities and ATM, cash withdrawals, deposits and internet banking, mobile banking. So apart from this, the additional benefits are these are the accidental insurance covers and disability covers also. So this Axis Bank has made this MOU with our Indian Army people officials to offer a defense service package. So Axis Bank decided to give a service to defense people for giving good products to them, good offers to that bank. Now when it comes to static part of this Axis Bank headquarters, it is Mumbai, and Axis Bank, the present MD and CEO, whose name is Amitabh Chaudhary, Sri Amitabh Chaudhary. Now moving forward, the next question says, with which entity the FREO entered into a partnership to grant a credit line and high ticket personal loans to customers in India? Friends, here entity it is FREO, it is also a company name. So this which entity this FREO company entered into a partnership to grant a credit line and high ticket personal loans to customers in India? Which is options? Options are A. Fullerton India, B. Muthoot Finance, C. Yes Bank, D. HBD Financial Services. In none of this. Friends, the country's first led neo bank FREO. So FREO, I told you, it is also a company. So it is a neo bank. So it is a first India's credit led neo bank. It is FREO has entered into a partnership with option D. HDB Financial Services. So this FREO Neo Bank has entered in partnership with this HDB Financial Services. So under this, the customers will get the personalized amount approved, so which they can start using immediately. So this tie-up is made benefited to high ticket personal loans to high customers. Means high value. They are going to release the loan amount which is high value, that to the customers in India. So as they repay this borrowed amount, the credit limit is replenished and they can continue withdrawing as they want. So this the credit amount, the borrowers who are taking loans from these companies, so these banks, so the credit limit is replenished. So means replaced, and they can continue withdrawing as they want. So how much they want, they can continue they can withdraw. So these are the benefits, but you have to remember just this partnership point of view is enough. What their how much loan amount and what are the facilities, no need. The IPS or any RBA, SBA, they won't go deep into this question. Just they will ask in exam point of view, they will ask partnerships. So that's enough. With which bank and which entity has tie up with this which company, like that. So here the answer is HDB Financial Services and FRAO. You need to remember these two. So when it comes to headquarters, that also you need to remember. When it comes to FRAO, this is credit led neo bank. I don't know. FRAO it related to, it is bank headquarters Bangalore. When it comes to HDB, it is Mumbai. So HDB Mumbai and FRAO it is Bangalore. Now next question says, which bank has partnered with Creditas Solutions? So which bank has partnered with Creditas Solutions? It is also a company. So to grant customized debt management solutions for its loan and credit card customers. So which bank has partnered with Creditas Solutions to grant customized debt management solutions for its loan and credit card customers? Which are the options? Options are A. Axis Bank, B. HDFC Bank, C. Canara Bank, D. SBI, and others. Friends, the right answer is option B. It is HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank has decided to partner with this Creditas Solutions. So to grant customized debt management solutions for their customers and especially for their credit card customers. So these solutions they will be offered with a self-service credit card portal. So they will provide a beneficial to customers, especially during this pandemic situation. No? So the fully integrated, ready to deploy this credit help platform will be provided by Creditas Solutions. So if any credit card customers of HDFC Bank, so if they want credit help, they want any updations, they want any queries related to credit cards, so they can contact this Creditas Solution. So that solutions is provided by this Creditas Solution company. So they will give appropriate reply and of this HDFC credit card holders. So appropriate solutions they will provide. So that is why HDFC has partnered with this Creditas Solutions. The right answer is option B. It is HDFC Bank. Now when it comes to static part of this question, it is headquarters of this HDFC Bank, it is Mumbai, and when it comes to this Creditas Solutions, it is Haryana, it is Gurgaon, Haryana. So especially why they partnered with this means to provide customized debt management for their credit cards holders, their credit card customers. That you need to remember. When it comes to HDFC MD and CEO, his name is Shashidhar Jagdishan. When it comes to tagline of HDFC Bank, we understand your world. We understand your world is a tagline, and headquarters Mumbai, and MD and CEO is Shashidhar Jagdishan. Now moving on next question. The question says, which financial organization sanctioned a loan of rupees 2,891.15 lakh to Goa for construction of phase 2 building of Goa Dental College and Hospital. It is in Bambolim, Goa. So which financial organization sanctioned this much amount to Goa state for building a Goa Dental College and Hospital under the construction of phase 2, this phase 2 building? Now which options? Options are A. World Bank, B. NABARD, C. RBI, D. IDRBT. Friends, here the right answer is option B. It is NABARD. So National Banking for Agriculture and Rural Development. So NABARD has sanctioned a loan to Goa state under the Rural Infrastructure Development Fund. So how NABARD is sanctioning? Through RADF, through Rural Infrastructure Development Fund. So through this company, NABARD is sanctioning this much 2,891.5 lakh rupees they are going to sanction. So this NABARD has sanctioned this much amount as a loan amount to state government of Goa. So this loan amount was sanctioned for construction of phase 2 building of Goa Dental College and Hospital. So this will help to improve health standards in Goa state. So now when it comes to static part of this NABARD headquarters, it is Mumbai, and NABARD was established in the year 1982, and present chairman of NABARD Govindarajulu Chintala. Present NABARD chairman Govindarajulu Chintala. So you need to remember this is also most important question. NABARD has financed to this Goa Dental College for building Goa Dental College. So the amount is exactly they won't ask. Sometimes may ask, but usually they will ask. NABARD recently sanctioned to which state for building up a dental college and hospital, like that they will ask. So that time you need to remember this NABARD, and NABARD abbreviation you need to remember, and then remember RIDF. RIDF what it on Rural Infrastructure Development Fund. So under this scheme they are sanctioning this loan amount 2,891.15.
The question says Apple allows new payment modes for its users in India along with App Store and iTunes. So what are they? So Apple already allowing new payment modes in their mobile, that is App Store and iTunes Store. So along with this there are how many new payment modes are there allowing? Now which is options are A UPI, B net banking, C RuPay, D ABC, A and B and C means UPI, net banking, RuPay in and of this. Friends, recently RBI has introduced three new payment modes for its users in India. So App Store and iTunes for users in India now include along with this UPI, net banking, RuPay. So options D right answer means A, B, C. So so this development indicated that Apple users will now be able to make payments using this made in India payment system. So like this UPI, net banking, RuPay. And besides this, the balance can be used for to pay for streaming services, namely like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Apple One services like Apple Arcade and Apple One. So it is launched in 2012. RuPay card facilitates real-time electronic payments at all banks and financial institutions in India. So then this UPI was launched in the year 2016. This RuPay launched in 2012. So this due to this payment service, so this Apple also supporting this made in India digital platforms. So in that concept, Apple has introduced the three main payment method in their Apple Store, that is UPI, net banking, and RuPay. Now moving on to next question. The question says Magma FinCorp Limited. So RBI registered this NBFC as, so they renamed this NBFC name as, so earlier this Magma FinCorp Limited, now they re-registered and with the new name. So they're asking that new name, which is options are A Fino Ecorp India Limited, B New Magma FinCorp Private Limited, C Poonawalla FinCorp Limited, D Sigma E FinCorp Limited. In none of this. Friends, this Magma FinCorp Limited, so RBI registered non-banking finance company under the NBFC, they have been renamed as Poonawalla FinCorp Limited. So option C, it is the right answer for this question. So Poonawalla FinCorp Limited. So it has also initiated rebranding their activity. That is the acquisition of this controlling stake by Adar Poonawalla, and he is led Rising the Sun Holdings Private Limited. So along with this, it is fully owned housing finance subsidiary of this Magma Housing Finance Company Limited, and it also renamed as Poonawalla Housing Finance Limited. Friends, when it comes to chairman of this Poonawalla FinCorp Limited, that is Magma FinCorp Limited, his name is Adar Poonawalla. He is the present chairman of this Poonawalla FinCorp Limited. So you need to remember Magma, earlier name is Magma FinCorp Limited. Now they are registered with RBI as Poonawalla FinCorp Limited. And if you haven't yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe my Invoking YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest notification to your mobile. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Jai Hind.